for this week's report. An exclusive look into the ongoing renovations at the former IOKA Theater. Special town election results and an update on the Sewer Siphon Project. A preview of the Exeter UFO Festival and its otherworldly events. Town staff present millions of dollars worth of potential projects to the planning board. The Exeter Historical Society opens a window to their past in their newest exhibition, opening in September. And a visitor from the UK compares Exeter, England with Exeter, New Hampshire. For Exeter TV, I'm Bob Glowacki, and this is the Exeter Biweekly Report. Let's get started. The IOKA Theater has been a topic of discussion lately on online forums and likely in coffee shops around town, with renovations picking up speed. In our first segment today, developers IOKA Properties LLC give Exeter TV exclusive access into the building to learn more about the project that is going on.
Winter or summer, time passes as quickly in Exeter as anywhere else. From the earliest days of the movies, there has been a picture theater in town. Townspeople go fairly regularly, and Fred Markey, the manager, knows everyone's likes and dislikes.
Opened in 1915, the IOKA operated as a theater for over 9 decades, closing its doors in 2008. Sitting dormant for years, the fate of the building was unknown. Numerous attempts to save the historic building and bring back a theater or other businesses had failed. In March of 2020, developers David Cowie and Jay Caswell purchased the building as IOKA Properties LLC with the hopes of turning the former movie theater into a mixed-use building. We spoke with developer David Cowie to learn more about what made them interested in the building.
Sure, well, I got involved with Exeter back in 2013 with the Alro Shoe Factory. That was pretty much an empty building at the time, vacant, derelict. So brought that back to life over many years, driving back and forth through downtown. You know, just looking at the IOKA every day and just wondering why that was sitting there empty. So when the opportunity came along to purchase the IOKA, it was almost like the next step in a development in Exeter.
Deconstruction work took place in late 2020 and was most likely unnoticed by residents other than the removal of the historic IOKA marquee. Due to the location of the building downtown, crews were unable to use large construction equipment and therefore much of the work inside was done by hand. The removal of the old theater's wooden facade revealed the beauty of the building's well-preserved brickwork, which is expected to be a prominent feature throughout the revitalized building. Reconstruction work began in late 2021. The extensive structural redesign includes the installation of an elevator shaft, the enlarging and strengthening of the riverbed footings, and a steel I-beam internal skeleton that will support the building for another century or two. Jay Caswell, partner of David Cowie at IOKA Properties LLC, has been heavily involved in the construction of the project and talked about the unique challenges of renovating a building in the heart of a downtown.
So on an old building like this, it was really socked in. There's a lot of logistical challenges building it. I kind of use this term a lot. It's kind of like building a ship in a bottle. We have to bring everything from the front, crane everything down. When you're renovating an old building, you run into things you don't expect.
Part of this process involved inserting a small portable crane into the interior of the building to assist with the installation of the steel girders on the lower levels of the building. Steelwork on the higher levels required unique devices and team effort. The lone I-beam being installed weighed over 2,700 pounds. Back on the outside of the building, the developer stated that their goal is to preserve as much of the original appearance as possible, while also paying tribute to its long history as the IOKA Theater. Additional windows will be added for the new upper-level floor. The back and roof of the building will be where the most visible changes will occur during the renovations. As residents can already see, windows and balconies will be added overlooking the river. There will also be a rooftop patio and garden. During construction, developer David Cowie realized the importance of restoring the alleyway between the IOKA and the adjacent property at 45 Water Street, and so he acquired the building as well, which was home to the Travel and Nature Store. In the developer's words, proceeding with the construction on both buildings simultaneously will limit impacts to the downtown and give this area an even more attractive appearance when finished by providing a glimpse of the river environment from the sidewalk. Much of the work still remains, including the addition of a new roof, the interior electrical wiring and plumbing, and the mechanical unit installations that will clear the way for the finished interior carpentry work to begin. The developer plans to give Exeter TV another update as the project nears completion.
It was a question I got daily on the street. What's going on with the IOKA? And there was a bunch of different iterations, as we all know. It took some people with some vision and some money to invest in it the way they are right now. It's going to be a phenomenal project. It's the only building that really sticks out into the water. So whoever's lucky enough to buy some of the units up on top are going to be able to see upriver and downriver. The other uses, of course, he's talking about possibly a restaurant / speakeasy down here, and there's a retail floor as well. So just having this sort of back on the books, if you will, for Exeter is a big, big deal. It's the centerpiece of our town. And it was for many, many, many years as a theater. It was unfortunately not viable as a theater going forward, and what we have for the use now makes a ton of sense. So we're all very happy about it and excited, and soon it'll be finished.
The town of Exeter held a special town meeting voting session this past Tuesday to determine the fate of the ongoing Sewer Siphons project. We went down to the polls to hear the results and explore what's next for the project in the following segment. At the special town election held on Tuesday, August 15th, the sole warrant article for $3.5 million to complete the sewer project passed with 605 yes votes to 58 no votes.
So on election day, we had 663 voters turn out to vote. The vote was 605 in favor and 58 opposed, which was a 91.5% success rate in terms of the vote being yes for the project. So from our perspective, that's really an overwhelming yes from the voters to go ahead and complete the project. So we're excited about that. That's a really great thing in terms of having the additional funding now that we've been seeking to be able to finish the project. So we're very grateful for the voter turnout. We're very grateful for the voters voting the way they did, and we can expect the project to progress from here on out.
Work on the second siphon is expected to begin in November with the drilling and reaming of a hole over the course of a few months. Once the drilling is complete, the siphon pipe will be pulled through. At that point, work will begin on the relay connections and inlet and outlet structures to wrap up the project. While voters were turning out at the polls, construction crews were busy on both sides of the river. The first siphon barrel was laid out across the lawn in front of the mills. A new reaming head was attached to pull the siphon across and under the river. The siphon went into the ground around 8 a.m. and successfully emerged on the other side just after 4 p.m. For continued updates on the progress of the siphons project, visit the homepage of the town website, exeternh.gov. On September 3, 1965, 18-year-old Norman Muscarello ran into the Exeter Police Department to report his sighting of an unidentified flying object behind a barn in nearby Kensington. 58 years later, Exeter commemorates this event with the Exeter UFO Festival.
Why did Gabe trap me in this computer? I mean, that's like really rude of him. And now I'm gonna miss the 2023 Exeter UFO Festival. Gosh! If only there was some way I could get out of here. What's that? Oh, those aliens are cool. And look, I met a friend. It's Blue Buddy. Classic Blue Buddy. Good one. Let's talk about the 2023 UFO Festival.
The Exeter UFO Festival is scheduled for Saturday and Sunday, September 2nd and 3rd, on Labor Day weekend. The festivities will take place in Exeter's historic downtown, with all of the UFO presentations taking place in the town hall. Experience thrilling UFO presentations, funky alien merch, delicious street food, and a tour to the Exeter UFO sighting spot. This festival promises excitement at every turn. 100% of the profits will go to local children's charities, children's programs, and community programs.
The Exeter area Kiwanis are always looking for members. If you are interested, we'll have plenty of information at the festival to tell you what we're all about.
Many organizations and businesses are running special promotions during the festival, so make sure to visit many shops all over town. The Exeter Police Department is also joining in on the fun by selling special patches during the festival. But these are no ordinary patches. They're truly out of this world.
We're super excited to be part of the Exeter UFO Festival again this year. This is going to be our second year creating our individual patches that represent the Exeter Police Department and the affiliation with the incident at Exeter. It's such an important part of our history, of the town's history, and it directly involves the Exeter Police Department. So why not embrace that and do something fun with a patch?
Proceeds from the special patches will go directly to the police department's Comfort Dog program, which stars their chocolate lab named Maple.
So come on down to the 2023 Exeter UFO Festival on September 2nd and 3rd. It's not just about the extraterrestrial fun. It's about supporting local charities and having a blast with your community. Isn't that right, Blue Boy?
The Planning Board received a presentation on the Draft Capital Improvements Projects Program, looking at tens of millions of dollars worth of projects that could come before voters in the next 3 to 6 years. Here's more from our Meeting Minutes series. At the August 10th meeting of the Planning Board, Town Planner Dave Sharples introduced the Draft 2024 Capital Improvement Program.
This is the Capital Improvement Program, or I'll say CIP. It stands for Capital Improvement Program. It's basically a 6-year planning document, like a financial planning document. It looks at, we asked all department heads to look at their departments, what are their major capital needs, planning needs, because there's studies, vehicles, equipment, facilities, and they provide a list of their needs over the next 6 years and try to, predict in the future what capital projects are coming in. It's a planning exercise. It helps with budgeting through the budget committee and future financial planning to try to keep a stable tax rate and order facilities on a rolling basis.
Police and Fire discussed several projects related to communications equipment and revisited last year's proposal for a new police station with a fire substation.
We were utilizing a makeshift, or it was a utility room, and we were utilizing that as an interview room until we were told that it's dangerous and we're no longer allowed to do that. You're trying to describe an experience that happened to you that's private. And, I don't want to say embarrassing, but it's a very private thing, and you're expecting to come into a nice, safe space, and we bring you into a closet that has wires coming down, and that's the only place that we can actually interview you. It's not going to solicit not the willingness, but it's just not a good environment for somebody to actually report a crime that is near and dear to their heart.
Parks and Recreation had several items, including Planet Playground. Public Works Interim Director Paul Vlasic introduced many projects, most of which relate to water and sewer or drainage projects throughout town. One project discussed was the Pickpocket Dam modifications.
But what's real important is with all of these grants coming down the line, and there was one that just opened a week ago for like the NOAA fish passage and that kind of stuff. It would be nice to have the consultants to be able to do top-notch grant applications too, to fund potential fixes. There's more for like fish passage and dam removals than there is for building things higher and wider. It's all going to be what the town chooses for a fix.
As always, you can find the full meeting video and other materials on the town website at exeternh.gov/meetings. The Exeter Historical Society has an interesting upcoming exhibit entitled Windows to the Past, starting in September. We went over to the Historical Society to learn more.
The exhibit is called Windows into the Past. So I'm Vicki Geis, and I'm a trustee here at the Historical Society.
And I'm Barbara Rimkunis, and I'm the co-executive director at the Exeter Historical Society.
First, the idea of having more exhibits at the society is to get people to come into the building again and again. So we're planning to change out our exhibits every couple of months. We had a beautiful quilt exhibit the last 2 months. Prior to that, it was all about the Robinson Female Seminary. So we try to coordinate them with our programs, and the program for September is Past and Present, and this author, Kathleen Bailey, is going to be the speaker. So with that, we wanted to do our own Past and Present Windows into the Past exhibit here at the Society, and it's a coordinated effort among the community. We've asked people to share pictures of the old ones that we post, so we will have them side by side here in the exhibit. The volunteers have helped doing research. They've also put together a couple of other exhibits with artifacts that we have here in the Society. So you'll see a display of authors, past and present. And then there'll be some fun artifacts that we won't tell you about. We hope you come and join us.
Some of the photos in the exhibit feature locations such as Hemmy's Ways Bridge at PEA, the old firehouse, now Otto's Pizza, Roar's Restaurant on Portsmouth Avenue, and more.
Expanding our exhibits in the building has come about because actually during the pandemic and just afterwards we moved our monthly programs to the Exeter Town Hall. You can watch them virtually or you can come and see them live, but rather than hold them here at the Historical Society, which was always a bit crowded, we now have them at the other building. That frees up our meeting room space so that we can have the types of exhibits we've always really wanted to have. So come and visit us.
For more information about the exhibit and the work of the Exeter Historical Society, visit their website, exeterhistory.org. In our final segment today, we have a comparison between Exeter, England and Exeter, New Hampshire, with help from Solomon Jelly. That does it for this week's report. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to help us spread the word. We'll be back on September 1st for the next edition of the show. For Exeter TV, I'm Bob Glowacki, and this has been the Exeter Biweekly Report. Have a good weekend, Exeter.